giving me this opportunity, and I would like to extend my sincere thanks to then Head Management Studies, Anna University, for giving this wonderful opportunity. And I can give 200% assurance that at the end of this session, definitely we'll have some kind of takeaway. Today we are going to discuss what is research, then how to identify the research problem, what are the various steps involved in identifying a research problem. If time permits, we are going to discuss what is research design, what is research design, plus we are going to discuss what is review of literature, plus construct development. But this is the today's agenda. If you have any doubt or clarification at the end, feel free to ask your doubt. I am ready to clarify all your doubt. There is a proverb in Sanskrit: king will be respected only in the kingdom. Leader will be respected only in the organization. Fools will be respected only in the house. Whereas knowledgeable person or Vidyapati, he will be respected all over the world. If you want to be a Vidyapati, that is knowledgeable person, you should do research. Research plays very, very important role. Just I will present my screen. Kindly tell me whether it's visible so that we can proceed further. Sir, whether screen is visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay. What is research? Research is very, very important for MBA students, not only MBA students. Research is very, very important to all the students. Before discussing this subject, just I would like to begin with one story. There is a person, he is a management guy. He had a mindset that he knows everything under the sun. He wanted to learn Zen. We all have heard Zen. Zen means it's form of one meditation. So he went to Japan and he stayed there in one monarch for 1 week. But he is not getting proper response from the monarch. At one point of time, he got upset. He started criticizing, and then he approached the head of the monarch, and he started giving complaint. In order to pacify the particular guy, that is a management guy, he asked only one question. He clapped. Immediately, the one disciple came, and he asked this question: "What do you like to have? Would you like to have a coffee or tea?" Immediately, this fellow said, this management guy said, "Okay. Tea." Immediately, that disciple poured tea on the tumbler. He started pouring tea on the tumbler. At one point of time, the tea started overflowing. Immediately, this management guy said, "Okay, what is this? Already it is full." Now, the Zen master slowly opened their mouth and he said, and then, so the learning is like this. When you come with fullness, whatever we say, it will not goes to you. When you come with emptiness, whatever we say, definitely, and then you will have some takeaway. Finally, he realized his mistake. He got a wisdom. That is a different story. So similarly, I'm expecting, the concept. You can ask clarification and other things. I want the emptiness from your mind so that you can take all the concept. Okay. What is research? Research, it's very simple. Research is to see what everybody has seen, but think what nobody else has thought. That is a definition for research. Normally, people will say, what is research? Research means you should create some new knowledge. How you can create new knowledge? You can create new knowledge by use of existing knowledge, or you can use new concept on methodology. Finally, it should create some kind of impact in the society. That is a research. What is research? You should search repeatedly. You can do the research for the previous work, or you can do the new innovation. Okay. You are aware about need for research, why we should do the research. If you are a faculty member, if you want to go, and then naturally promotion requirement, this is one of the requirement, plus increment. Some of the educational institutions made it mandatory for research as a basic on which increment will be given. If you want better job opportunities, particularly for MBA students, research is very, very important. If you want some respect among your colleague, this is very, very important. Research is very, very important. Okay. Before discussing further, first, when you have decided to do the research, so first you have to select the research topic. Research topic plays very, very important role. You can select your research topic in finance, or you can select your research topic in marketing, or you can select your research topic in human resource management or anything. Okay. But the research topic should be selected based on your own personal interest. It should not be compulsion. Next one, when you select some research topic, it should have some newness. Then you should not take the research like customer satisfaction. When you type the customer satisfaction in emeraldinsight.com, that website, you definitely will get more than 150,000 research article. So what is the use? There is no use. That means already more than 1 lakh people did a research. So when we do the research, at least there must be some newness. Next, we should see the feasibility of the research. Feasibility in the sense time constraints. Say for example, we should have some kind of deadlines. Say for example, let's take MBA means only 6 months. We will have only 6 months time to complete the project. So within 6 months, we have to complete the entire research. So accordingly, the topic should be newness. At the same time, we should consider the time constraint plus ethical constraint plus organization support. Organization support means you may be interested in doing some kind of research. But if you take some institutions, they don't have any research database. There are several research databases are available. That is EBSCO host, emeraldinsight.com. Emeraldinsight.com is said to be one of the best database for social science. So management, commerce, economics, anthropology, sociology, psychology, public administration will comes under social science. So if you have this database, that is good. Plus availability of equipment. This will be applicable only to the science and technology students, science and technology research scholar. This is not applicable to management students. Okay. Now, what is the first one? We are doing research. If you take scholars, some scholars, they are very smart. Some scholars are hardworking. As far as research is concerned, smart work is very, very important. So before doing research, first we have to identify the base paper. That is very, very important. So from once you know the base paper, you can build next level concept. It's very, very simple. So this is the first step, base paper. So what is the base paper? Base paper means what? It is a classical paper or it's a semi-annual paper. So even if you take research service quality, so service marketing, service quality this concept is gone by Parasuraman and Sitamal. So this paper is said to be another base paper. Similarly, let's take stress. You like to do some research on stress. Paper written by Uday Parikh may be the best paper, base paper. Now, you might ask another one question. So, how to identify the base paper? How to identify the base paper? Okay. If you want to identify the base paper, it's very simple. You can go to Emerald Insight and you can go to emeraldinsight.com database. When you go to emeraldinsight.com database, you can type your topic. Say, for example, your topic may be service quality, or your topic may be organization citizenship behavior, your topic may be consumer behavior, your topic may be customer loyalty, or your topic may be anything, human resource management practice. Sometimes your topic may be supply chain management or human resource management practice, logistic management, total quality management, lean management, or whatever may be the topic. You can type your topic in the emeraldinsight.com database. Immediately, you will be getting several papers, so several research paper. So what you can just I will show how to do this in emeraldinsight.com so that you can get some. You will have some basic idea. Whether my screen is visible, sir? Any one of the parts?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, madam. Okay, Emerald Insight. This is one of the database. Now, what I am doing? I am supposed to select my base paper. This is my aim. So what I can do is, let's take, I am selecting, this is my topic. What is my topic? My topic is service quality. Service quality. Service quality is my topic. Okay. When I type service quality, you might come across this data. Say for example, 20,000. Okay, let's take not 20,000. Okay, it's more than up to last year alone. 20,000, more than 20,583 article has been published. Okay, now how I can find the base paper? It's very simple. I will explain the methodology. If you want to write a research paper, first, what is the qualification for research paper? It should have a DOI number. What is DOI number? DOI number is nothing but digital object identifier. This is the meaning for the term DOI number. It's like a register number. So you can copy this DOI number. You can also paste. If you have a database, it's very simple. Or otherwise, you can copy this DOI number. You can paste SCI Hub. That is a science citation. SCI Hub. Okay, that is a database. Then this is SCI. You can type SCI Hub. This is one of the. It's like a tamilrockers.com. So since I am getting data from my own institute, it says your connection is not private. But when you do it in your home, definitely you can download this research paper. Okay. Now let's what is our intention? What is our aim? We are supposed to identify the base paper. So base paper can be identified by two different methods. First one, number of downloads. If the paper is very good paper, definitely huge number of people might download a research paper. Say for example, 10,000 people or 20,000 people might download your research paper. Number of downloads. Sometimes number of citations. Sometimes if your paper is good, several persons might give citations. So you consider number of downloads and number of citations. If number of downloads and number of citations are both are one and the same, you better take number of citation. Okay. Once you identify the base paper, the rest of the thing is very simple. Okay. Now you have identified the base paper with the help of emeraldinsight.com. This is one of the best database for social science. Next, we have to decide what is the research approach. This is very important. What is research approach? Research approach is nothing but the way of dealing with a particular problem is said to be the research approach. There are two types of research approach has been followed by the researchers all over the world. One is a deductive approach, another one is an inductive approach. Now we will discuss what is deductive approach, what is inductive approach. What is deductive approach? In case of deductive approach, you take any one other theory. From the theory, you develop some hypothesis. From the hypothesis, you can apply. Then you can apply some statistical tests. Finally, you can accept or reject the hypothesis. When you follow this method, this is have to be deductive approach. You might ask one question. Say, for example, let's take PhD research PhD scholars. They may be asked to undergo a coursework. Why? Because they are supposed to know all theory content in the particular subject. For example, one person may be interested in consumer behavior. There may be several theories are there. He is supposed to know all the theory. Why? Because he has to start the research based on theory. He has to take any one of the theory. From the theory, hypothesis can be developed. You are aware about hypothesis. Hypothesis is nothing but tentative assumption about population. There are two types of hypothesis. One is null hypothesis, another one is alternate hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? Null hypothesis says there is no significant difference between x and y, or there is no significant difference between independent variable and dependent variable. Whereas, what about alternate hypothesis? Alternate hypothesis says there is a significant difference between independent variable and dependent variable. Whenever we do hypothesis, our main intention is to reject null hypothesis. This is the main intention of the hypothesis testing. Now we have learned we have seen two important concepts. One is independent variable, another one is dependent variable. What is independent variable? Independent variable is nothing but cost-oriented variable. Independent variable is nothing but cost-oriented variable. Dependent variable is nothing but effect-oriented variable. Let's take bank service quality. I would like to do research on service quality. What is service quality? Service quality is nothing but customer perception about service. This is said to be service quality. So, several factors might influencing customer service quality. Say, for example, convenience of the bank, convenient location of the bank, convenience of the bank, plus workers' attitude towards customers, error-free service. This may be the independent variable. What may be the dependent variable? Effect, customer satisfaction. That may be the dependent variable. Or otherwise, customer loyalty is maybe the dependent variable. Or intention to revisit may be the dependent variable. So, we should, when you do research, PhD research or MBA research, you select this approach. There is a deductive approach. Deductive approach means select theory, then develop hypothesis. Next, what you can do is you can develop some construct. Probably day after tomorrow, we are going to discuss how to develop construct. You can develop construct, and then you can observe the test. Test means we are talking about statistical tools. If you take statistics, there are two types of statistical tool has been used by the researchers. One is a parametric test. Another one is a non-parametric test. One is parametric, another one is non-parametric test. What is parametric test? If any test is considering mean as a base, if any statistical test is considering mean as a base, it is said to be parametric test. If any statistical test is considering median as a base, it is a non-parametric test. Okay. So what is the next research approach? Next research approach is the inductive approach. What is inductive approach? Just you are observing the fact. You are observing, you are doing some observation. Based on the observation, you can identify the pattern. Finally, you can develop the theory. The main objectives of inductive approach is development of theory. For example, Maslow hierarchy of needs. Probably if you take Maslow need hierarchy theory, actually this theory has been propounded by Maslow in the year 1901. He is a Russian psychologist. He has identified basic needs, security needs, security needs, plus social needs. Finally, self-actualization. Whereas let's take deductive approach. Example, what is the example for deductive approach? Impact of bonus on salesmen. Is there any relationship between bonus given to salesmen in the banking industry? This is an example for deductive approach. Okay. Now, first you are supposed to define the problem. This is very, very important. Defining. Okay. Say for example, sometimes some scholars might defining the problem in a correct way. Sometimes some scholar might define the problem in a wrong way. Unless you define your problem in a correct way, it's very difficult. For example, if you are not defining your problem in a correct way, no problem. Otherwise, your review of literature, because you are going to do the review of literature based on the research problem identification. All your review of literature will be based plus research design. You are going to develop the research design based on the identification of the research problem, plus sampling method will be based, questionnaire development will be based, plus finally you do some statistical tests. So everything will be based on the research problem identification. Now you might ask, properly defining the research problem is most important step in research process. If the wrong problem is defined, all the remaining steps in the marketing research process are wrong. Now, we must know how to formulate the research problem. This is very, very important. Most of the scholars committed mistake here, how to formulate the research problem. These are the various steps. If you have seen the steps it seems some vague. I will explain one by one. First, you have to identify any one of the research problem. You should identify any one of the research problem. I am taking alcoholism as my research problem. Okay, what is the second step? I am classifying this research problem into several subcomponents. What are the various classification profile? What is the profile of alcoholism? Say, for example, what a profile in the sense demographic profile, male, female, plus causes why they are addicted to alcoholism. Next, the process of becoming alcoholic. How and then what is the process? Plus, what is the effect of alcoholism on the family? Next one, community attitude. What is the community attitude towards alcoholism? Finally, the effectiveness of a treatment model. Sometimes the person may be affected by alcoholism, then probably some kind of treatment will be given. So just you can check what is the effectiveness of treatment given by the doctors. So these are the various problems. You have identified alcoholism is one of the main problem. Then you have divided from the alcoholism, there are several problems. So you are dividing entire, you have identified sub-problems. Now you have selected effect of alcoholism on the family. You can select any one other topic. It's not a problem because already I told the topic should be selected based on the researcher's own interest. You have identified the effect of alcoholism on the family. Okay, now you are asking some questions. What is the questions? What impact, this is said to be research question. What impact has alcoholism on marital relations? What impact? Next one, how does it affect various aspects of children's life? Let's take children's, then probably when they are a child, how it will affect. When they are adolescent, how it will affect. When they are young, how it will affect their life. Okay. Third one, what are the effects on the family finance? So this is your research questions. Based on the research question, what you can do is you can formulate the research objective. This is very, very important. We should have some research question. Based on the research question, we should formulate some objectives. So what may be the objective? To find out the effect of alcoholism on the family, to ascertain the impact of alcoholism on marital relations. Okay, this is my first objective. When you identify the first objective, immediately your mind should say which type of statistical tool can be used for this impact, because you would like to study the impact. So naturally, you can use multiple regression. Next one, to determine the ways in which the alcoholism affect different aspects of child's life. So what here for which for second objective you can use then say for example a t-test, that is independent sample t-test you can use. Next, to find out the effect of alcoholism on the financial situation of the family, you can use this statistical test, that is multiple regression. Immediately your mind should say, so how this could be possible? It's possible. When you churn the card again and again, definitely you will get a better. Similarly, when you read some research paper or research letter or article, definitely at one point of time you will be the master in the particular subjects. Finally, before identifying the problem, you have to do this. You have to double check whether you are really interested. This is very, very important. You may be interested in marketing, but you might select finance related problem because of your supervisors. That is not correct. Okay. Next one, that you agree with the objectives. Next, you have to ensure this. You have adequate resources. Adequate resources means whether you have a lab, you have a database. Database means emeraldinsight.com. Next, you should ask this kind of questions. Whether you have a technical expertise to understand the study. Technical expertise in the sense you should have some kind of competency. If you want to be a master in research, 3 components is very, very important. First, you should know the research methodology subject. You should know what is statement of the problem. Plus, you should know what is review of literature, how a review of literature should be done. Plus, what are the different strategies are to be followed by the researchers. Plus, how to write review of literature. You should know what is research design. What are the different types of research design. You should know what is sampling design. You should know what is questionnaire design. You should know what is the different data collection method. You should know the scaling technique. Okay, so you can get this information from the any one of the book. Normally, for example, for research methodology, there are several books may be there. Okay, but marketing research, there is a book written by marketing research by Naresh Malhotra. This is a very, very wonderful, excellent book, and again, it's a students-friendly book. If you wish, you can refer any book. There is no hard and fast rule, but I have seen several books. This book seems something good and something different. So you should have a technical, plus you should have some expertise with regard to statistical tool usage. For example, you can know the SPSS related softwares, or otherwise sometimes you may do research on finance related topic. Finance related topic means naturally SPSS will not help you, so you can use the EVUS software. Okay, plus some little bit of statistical knowledge. That is enough. Okay, now you have identified the problem. First stage over. Okay, before discussing next stage, that is review of literature, just I would like to discuss research design. What is research design? Research design is nothing but a blueprint for the entire research. Before performing research or before conducting research, or let's take home, before constructing a home, we will prepare a blueprint. Then we will construct the house. Similarly, before conducting research, you should have some kind of plan. This is said to be research design. What is research design? Research design is nothing but it's a blueprint for conducting market research process. With the help of research design, you can take your research very easily to the next level. If you take research design, there are two types of research design. One is an exploratory research design, another one is a conclusive research design. Now you must understand what is exploratory research design and what is conclusive research design. What is exploratory research design? The other name of exploratory research design is non-conclusive research. The other name of conclusive research design is conclusive research. The main objectives of exploratory research design is to draw some meaningful inference. Sometimes some study may be new. No one knows, because you are doing the research for the first time. That means you are exploring the research for the first time. In such circumstances, you can do the exploratory study. The main objectives of exploratory study is to develop some variable, to develop some concept. That is the main objectives of exploratory variable. In case of exploratory research design, we will have only limited number of variables, because we will have a limited review of literature. Because why you will have a limited review of literature? Because there is no study. Because first time you are exploring. That is the exploratory research design. Next one is conclusive research design. This conclusive research design can be classified into two types. One is a descriptive research, another one is a casual research. Okay. So what is the descriptive research? In case of descriptive research, the researcher doesn't have any control over the variable. Already we have seen there are two types of variable. One is independent variable, another one is dependent variable. The researcher doesn't have any control over the variable. Okay. Just you are describing what has happened. That is a descriptive research. Descriptive research can be classified into two types. One is a cross-sectional research. Another one is a longitudinal design. What is cross-sectional design? It's very simple. When you collect data from the only one individual or only one respondents for the particular year alone, it is an example for cross-sectional design. What is a longitudinal design? Say for example, let's take finance related topic. You would like to do some kind of research on dividend. So first year you have identified some organization A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So you are collecting dividend related data during the year 2020. During the year 2022, again you have collected the same dividend related data from the same organization. Next year also you will collect the same data from the same organization. In such circumstances, this study is said to be longitudinal design. What is cross-sectional design? Cross-sectional design means you have collected data only once from the respondents. That is a cross-sectional study. In case of longitudinal design, then you are going to collect the same data from the same individual over a different period of time. That is an example for longitudinal design. Okay, longitudinal design. Okay, so exploratory research. When exploratory research should be conducted, exploratory research is conducted when researcher doesn't know about the problem at all, because sometimes he don't know. The best example, say for example, when COVID 2019 spread in India, no one knows what we are supposed to do. That is an example for exploratory research. Okay, so the main objectives of exploratory research is to develop some concept or to develop some theory. What are the uses of exploratory research? Probably you can formulate or you can define problem more precisely in the next or in the subsequent research. You can identify a course of action. You can develop hypothesis. If we take hypothesis, we know only null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis. Apart from this, there are several hypotheses are there. For example, simple hypothesis. There is another one terminology called complex hypothesis. But a simple hypothesis, in case of simple hypothesis, only one independent and another one dependent variable will be there. Okay, just we are going to study the impact or relationship between independent and dependent, one independent and one dependent variable. But is complex hypothesis. In case of complex hypothesis, independent variable may be several, dependent variable may be several. That is a complex hypothesis. Sometimes this hypothesis can be classified into some other classification. For example, directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis. What is directional hypothesis? If you can able to predict the impact of independent variable on dependent variable exactly or accurately, that is said to be directional hypothesis. What is non-directional hypothesis? If you are not in a position to predict the impact of independent variable on dependent variable, that is a non-directional hypothesis. So with the help of exploratory study, you can develop some hypothesis. You can also identify key variable and relationship. Similarly, you can also get some kind of insight. You can also establish priorities for further research. In this juncture, just I would like to emphasize only one point. The main objectives of this program, the main outcome of this program is the researcher is supposed to convert their project into paper. Paper means it could be UGC. You can send your paper to UGC approved journal, or otherwise Scopus. Scopus or Web of Science. If we take Web of Science, then it could be Social Science Citation Index. Okay. So you can send your paper to any one of the journals. Okay. If you take journals, there is a research paper, and this may be the format. First one may be abstract. Next one may be introduction, plus a review of literature, plus research model, research objective, plus research design will be there. Under research design, sampling design, questionnaire design. Under research design, sampling design will be there, plus questionnaire design, sampling design plus questionnaire design will be there. Okay. Now, plus data analysis. Data analysis will be there. Okay. At the end of the research paper, there is a column called scope for further research. Scope for further research. Why we are doing scope for further research? When you do the research next time, for example, you are the researcher, new researchers. Better you read the scope for further research. You can get some new idea. For example, let's take the research, and they will give limitations and scope. For example, this study limited. They may write the research scope for further research like this. And this study considers only 20 variable. In future, the researchers might consider more number of variable. This study considers only the probability sampling, non-probability sampling method. In future, the researchers might consider a probability sampling method. This study considers, sometimes they might use, this study is deductive approach. This study considers only the deductive approach. In future, the researchers might consider the inductive approach. They might give some kind of insight. That is the uses of exploratory research. When you are a new researcher, just go through that article. Finally, just read the final part of the research paper. So you will get some idea. Okay. So what are the various methods of collecting data from the respondent? First, we will do some kind of survey from the experts. We will do some kind of pilot studies. Pilot, why we do pilot study before distributing questionnaire to the respondent? Normally, we will do the pilot study. What is the main objectives of pilot study? To check whether the researcher has, whether the respondent has understood the questionnaire in a proper way. Sometimes you can do this. You can take secondary data, analyze the secondary data in a qualitative way. Okay. These are the uses of descriptive research. Actually, the descriptive research describe characteristics of groups or consumers. Groups in the sense it could be consumer, salesperson, or organization. Plus, it determine the perception of the product or characteristics. It determine the degree to which marketing variables are associated. What are the data collection method for descriptive research? You can collect secondary data. You can analyze the secondary data in a qualitative as well as quantitative way. Plus, you can also collect data from the panel observations. Plus, casual design. What is casual research design? The main objectives of casual research design is to find the cause, to know the impact of the independent variable on dependent variable. That is a casual research. For example, I can give some example. To study the relationship between human resource management, study the impact of human resource management practice on employee job satisfaction. Human resource management is said to be independent variable. Employee satisfaction is said to be dependent variable. Or otherwise, human resource management practice plus employee loyalty. Employee loyalty may be dependent variable. In such circumstances, we will use only the casual research design. In those days, casual research design has been used only for the experiment, because when we add some kind of component in the experiment, definitely results might be different. Okay. Already we have seen the cross-sectional population. What is cross-sectional population? When you collect data from the only one individual during the particular year. This is a cross-sectional study. What is a longitudinal study? Data will be collected from the same respondents over a different period of time. This is an example for longitudinal study. Now, we should know under what circumstances we should use exploratory research, descriptive research, and casual research. We should know what are the characteristics, what are the various methods of data collections. If you want to discover some new idea and insight, it is better to go for exploratory study. If you want to describe the market characteristics, it is better to go for descriptive research. If you want to determine the impact of independent variable on dependent variable, it is better to go for casual research. Similarly, let's take the characteristics. Exploratory research design is flexible because we don't have any theoretical support. Similarly, let's take descriptive research. Probably, and then it is not flexible one, not only the descriptive research, casual research also. Okay. Already we have seen what is independent variable and what is dependent variable. What is independent variable? Independent variables are those variable or alternatives that are manipulated and whose effects are measured and compared. Dependent variables are effect-oriented variables. If you take finance, ratio analysis, current ratio is an independent variable. Liquidity ratio is an independent variable. What is a dependent variable? Gross profit may be dependent variable. Operating profit may be dependent variable. Plus net profit may be the dependent variable. Whenever we do research, and then we have to collect data through, if you take social science, data can be collected through different methods. One may be qualitative data, another one may be quantitative data. Let's take quantitative data. Quantitative data can be collected only through the scale. If you take scale questionnaire, normally we have used four different types of scale. One may be nominal scale, another one may be ordinal scale, another one may be interval scale, another one may be ratio scale. If you take any questionnaire consists of three important components. The first part of the questionnaire talks about a demographic profile of the respondents. The second part of the questionnaire talks about independent variable. The third part of the questionnaire talks about dependent variable. So, for example, let's take what is a nominal scale. In questionnaire, we have used four different types of scale. One is a nominal scale. What is a nominal scale? And in case of nominal scale, just the scale has been used to assign number. In case of nominal scale, nominal scale has been used for only the identification purpose. Say, for example, male or female, city, Erode or Coimbatore or Chennai. So, nominal scale has been used for only the identification purpose. What is ordinal scale? Ordinal scale means what? There must be an order. For example, students mark. Sometimes one student might secure 100 marks. He may be ranked as number 1. Another one student might secure 80 marks. He will be ranked as number 2. Another one student might secure 50 marks. He may be ranked as number 3. This is an example for ordinal scale. But there is a difference. In case of ordinal scale, the order need not be equal. First students have secured 90 marks. He has been ranked as number 1. Second students, what is the difference? 80 marks. There is a 20 mark is a difference. That is let's take third students. Third rank students, 30 marks is the difference. So this is the ordinal, these are features of ordinal scale. Whereas let's take an interval scale. In case of interval scale, normally we will say the 5-point scale. In case of interval scale, just we would like to measure something. For example, what's your opinion about the coffee? Excellent. You can give this answer. You can give your answer in two ways. What's your opinion about coffee? Good or bad? You can say good or you can say bad. But this is not a correct way of getting response from the respondents. Instead, what you can do is, you can ask this question. What's your opinion about coffee? At 5-point scale. Excellent, 5. Very good, 4. Good, 3. Not okay. Not okay. So you can give some value. Similarly, ratio scale. What is ratio? When one information is expressed in terms of another information, it is said to be ratio scale. Here, I would like to emphasize only one point. If you take your questionnaire, your questionnaire consists of three important components. One is a demographic profile, another one is independent variable, another one is dependent variable. Let's take demographic profile. You can have nominal and ordinal scale. in your demographic profile or the demographic profile of the respondent. Okay. What about interval scale? It is better to use 5-point scale. There is interval. Interval in the sense independent variable and dependent variable. If you have this question structure, say for example, demographic profile. Demographic profile means name, age, gender, place of residence, how long you have been working there, and how do you came to know about this organization. This kind of questions will come under demographic profile. Better you use nominal and ordinal scale. Rest of the things, say for example, let's take independent variable. You can use 5-point scale. If you have this, you can use any kind of statistical test. For example, you can use univariate test. Univariate means only one variable. You can use bivariate. Bivariate means two variables. You can use multivariate. Multivariate means more than two variables. Similarly, you can also use any kind of parametric test. You can use t-test. You can use one-way ANOVA. You can use MANOVA. You can use factor analysis. You can use cluster analysis, conjoint analysis, even the structural equation modeling. Okay. Next step is sampling. Next one is sampling design. Sir, Mansoor sir. Sir, shall I proceed or shall we have a question discussion, sir? You tell me accordingly. Okay, shall we have day after tomorrow? Am I right, sir? Okay, sir. Sir, it will take another 15 to 20 minutes. So, shall we have it on tomorrow? There is sampling as well as questionnaire design plus review of literature. Okay, sir. Okay, okay. If in such circumstances, if you have any doubt or clarification, dear students, you can ask your doubt or clarification. Any doubt or clarification with regard to the topic or points which we discussed so far? Okay. Before conclude, before